Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring the 5e RPG Academy Adventures. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this setting where Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition meets Harry Potter, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to continue with the arcane traditions, taking a look at the Verzauber, the Wachruff, and the Weissarer. Let's start with the Verzauber. Verzauber employ a kind of sympathetic dance magic that helps allies and controls enemies. It is as mesmerizing to watch as it is balletic in its fluidity, and only highly acrobatic casters are capable of it. Let's talk about some of its features. You are a very accomplished dancer, having advantage in tests related to athletics, acrobatics, and such, including performance, of course. You can spend a bonus action and a spell slot to power your jumps. You can jump an additional 10 feet per spell level used this way. Now, your dancing can enthrall enemies and bolster your allies, distracting your enemies, which is perfect if you are teaming up with a character that relies on sneakiness and stealth, and you grant additional hit points to the members of your party. You can also spend a spell slot and use an action to force another humanoid to mimic your movements. You choose someone within a certain distance, and that character is going to take a disadvantage on dexterity saving throws and attack rolls. This reminds me a bit of those dark fae beings in Ravenloft that dance and they force others to dance with them. I remember them from an old module of Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. You also have Dance Dodge. When you are subjected to an effect, such as a red dragon's fiery breath or a lightning bolt spell, you can make your save, and if you are successful at it, you take no damage. And if you fail, you only take half damage. Then we have the Wachruff. Wachruff use their chosen energy to create objects and weapons for defensive and offensive purposes. Though they are tightly aligned with an energy type, they require very little of the element to create it. There are 4 solid types: earth, ice, magic, and mirror, and 4 fluid types: air, flames, sparks, and water. By pulling threads of the element out of the environment, the Wachruff can cause devastating havoc on the area around them. So you have energy affinity. You choose an energy to shape and its associated damage type of the types mentioned earlier. By expending a spell slot, you can throw a shard of your energy by making a ranged spell attack with a range up to 60 feet, inflicting damage. As you level up, the devastating effects of this attack become more significant, even causing explosions. Then we have Shape Energy Restraint. You can expend 1 spell slot to ensnare a foe with your chosen energy affinity, which will not only ensnare the foe, but also damage him or her, or it. Then we have Shape Energy Shield. You can use your energy affinity to instantly block attacks by creating a barrier of your energy material. You also have Shape Energy Blade. You can expend a spell slot and summon a weapon into your hand of your energy affinity type as a bonus action. Now you also have a very interesting power, which is Shape Pillars. You create pillars out of your energy. You can cause these pillars to rise below your opponent. You are basically pummeling your opponent from below, and if the ceiling is somewhat low, you can crush your opponent with the ceiling. And the pillars actually remain, so they have some utility to them. You can use them perhaps as barriers or as steps because you are immune to your own energy type. You could stand upon the pillars. Next we have the Weissarer. Weissarers use their knowledge of divination to create magical screens that provide an array of useful information. These screens provide more than information, however, as they can be used both defensively and offensively. Most powerful of all is the ability of a Weissarer to connect up to 3 others and instantly exchange information. So you can manifest a screen which provides a bit of light, and it can also be used as a spell focus. But this screen also provides information related to arcana, history, nature, etc. You can also use this screen as a shield, and you can overload the screen to make it explode and cause damage to anyone within a certain distance. And as mentioned before, you can link the minds of various characters together, and this is going to be great if you are looking for someone, or if you are going through a dangerous area where the party could end up split up or separated. You are going to be sharing information instantaneously. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to take a look at spells. I like how these different arcane traditions, these three in particular, fulfill some very specific roles within the party composition. In the case of the Verzauber, this is a perfect hit and run skirmisher sort of character, but because of your enthralling dance and your mimicry, it works great with rogue or ninja type of characters. In the case of the Wachruff, this is a good candidate for some frontline fighting. It's somewhat similar to the Abjudoka, the main difference being that the Wachruff focuses more on elemental attacks. If you encounter an enemy that is vulnerable to your energy, you're going to surpass the Abjudoka, but in a more general sense, the Abjudoka is more like a generalist combatant. And in the case of the Weissarer, this is a class that combines utility because of the information contained on your screens, but also you have that damage potential and the utility of the knowledge link. So this arcane tradition is perfect if you are exploring a site that is somewhat maze-like or very difficult to navigate. Thank you for watching this part of the review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending drive-thru RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.